Caleb Schwab. On August 7, 2016, 10-year-old Caleb Schwab visited Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City, Kansas with his family. Like many guests, he wanted to experience Verrückt, the tallest water slide in the world at the time. Riders traveled down a nearly vertical drop before crossing a massive uphill section at high speed. During Caleb's ride, the inflatable raft unexpectedly became airborne and struck the metal support structure above the slide. Caleb suffered catastrophic injuries and died instantly, while the two women riding with him survived with serious injuries. Investigators later discovered that the ride had experienced repeated safety problems during testing and had been modified several times instead of being completely redesigned. Verrückt never reopened after the accident and was eventually demolished. Caleb's death became one of the most horrifying water park tragedies ever recorded and led to worldwide discussions about ride engineering, testing standards, and passenger safety.
Nicolas Benavidez. In March 2013, 20-year-old Nicolas Benavidez was working as a maintenance employee at Schlitterbahn Beach Water Park in South Padre Island, Texas. His job involved repairing the powerful machinery that generated waves for one of the park's attractions. While he and another worker were inside the wave generation system performing maintenance, the equipment was unexpectedly activated. The enormous mechanical gate suddenly moved, trapping Benavidez inside the narrow chamber with tremendous force. Rescue teams managed to free him, but his injuries were so severe that he died several days later in hospital. Federal investigators found that proper lockout procedures designed to prevent machinery from starting during maintenance had not been followed correctly. The park was later cited for safety violations. Although guests never witnessed the accident, it remains one of the most brutal employee deaths ever connected to a water park.
Wild Waves Activity Pool. On August 20th, 2016, a 33-year-old man visited Wild Waves theme park in Washington to enjoy a summer afternoon. While swimming in the park's activity pool, he somehow slipped beneath the surface without attracting immediate attention. According to reports, several children noticed him lying motionless underwater and tried to alert a nearby lifeguard. Tragically, their warning was initially misunderstood, delaying the rescue. By the time staff realized the situation, the man had already spent too long underwater. Lifeguards immediately pulled him from the pool and began CPR before emergency medical teams arrived, but he could not be saved. The incident raised serious questions about emergency communication and lifeguard response procedures. It demonstrated how even crowded pools with trained staff can become the scene of tragedy when just a few critical minutes are lost. Oceans of Fun Wave Pool. In August 2019, a 14-year-old boy visited Oceans of Fun in Kansas City, Missouri, expecting an ordinary day with friends and family. At some point while swimming in the crowded wave pool, he disappeared beneath the constantly moving water without anyone immediately noticing. Investigators later determined that he had remained underwater for an extended period before lifeguards located him. Emergency responders restored his heartbeat at the scene and rushed him to hospital, where doctors fought to save his life. Sadly, after spending days on life support, he was declared brain dead and died shortly after his 15th birthday. His family later donated his organs to help others. The heartbreaking case highlighted how difficult it can be for lifeguards to spot distressed swimmers inside busy wave pools, where large crowds and artificial waves constantly reduce visibility. Kyra Hill. On August 6, 2022, 11-year-old Kyra Hill attended a birthday party at Liquid Leisure Water Park in Berkshire, England. The attraction featured a large inflatable obstacle course floating on open water where children climbed, jumped, and swam between obstacles. At some point, Kyra disappeared beneath the surface without staff noticing immediately. Friends believed she had simply moved to another section of the course while precious minutes passed. Rescue efforts were delayed, and emergency services were not contacted until much later. When divers eventually located Kyra underwater, it was already too late to save her. An inquest later concluded that she had been unlawfully killed due to gross failures in health and safety procedures. Investigators criticized poor supervision, inadequate emergency planning, and insufficient staff training. The case became one of Britain's most significant water attraction safety investigations.
Sophia Subedi. On July 24, 2025, 9-year-old Sophia Subedi visited Hersheypark's Boardwalk in Pennsylvania with her family. She entered the busy wave pool, one of the park's most popular attractions during the summer season. Despite trained lifeguards monitoring the area, Sophia encountered difficulty in the water and slipped beneath the surface. Staff and nearby guests reacted quickly once she was spotted, pulling her from the pool and immediately beginning life-saving efforts. She was rushed to hospital in critical condition, but doctors were unable to save her life. Police later concluded that the drowning was a tragic accident and found no evidence of criminal wrongdoing by the park or its employees. The incident served as another reminder that even well-supervised pools can become dangerous within seconds, especially when waves, crowds, and limited underwater visibility combine.
Toshimaen Pool Incident. In August 2019, an 8-year-old girl visited Toshimaen Water Park in Tokyo, Japan with her family during the summer holidays. She was wearing a life jacket while playing near a large inflatable floating mat, an attraction used by many children. Somehow, she slipped underneath the heavy structure and became trapped beneath it. Because the life jacket kept her pressed against the underside of the mat, she was unable to escape or reach the surface. Her family searched desperately after noticing she was missing, but staff initially failed to carry out an immediate underwater inspection. Eventually, workers lifted the floating structure and discovered her unconscious beneath it. She later died in hospital. The tragedy exposed unexpected dangers associated with large inflatable equipment and prompted reviews of safety procedures at similar attractions across Japan.
The Aquagan Lopar water park incident. In July 2025, a German family was enjoying a holiday on Croatia's island of Rab when they visited Aquagan Lopar water park. A father decided to ride a water slide while holding his 21-month-old daughter in his arms. During the descent, something went terribly wrong. The child slipped from his grasp and fell over the side of the slide onto the concrete surface several meters below. She suffered catastrophic head and internal injuries that left emergency responders with little chance of saving her. Despite being airlifted to hospital for specialist treatment, she died the following day. Police opened an investigation to determine exactly how the accident occurred. The heartbreaking incident demonstrated how a brief loss of control on a seemingly harmless family attraction can lead to devastating consequences within seconds.
Oceans of Fun Coconut Cove Incident. In July 2022, a 6-year-old girl was playing inside Coconut Cove, a children's water playground at Oceans of Fun in Kansas City. Designed for younger visitors, the attraction featured shallow water, small slides, and interactive fountains that appeared far less dangerous than the park's larger rides. At some point, however, the child became unresponsive in the water. Lifeguards quickly removed her and immediately began CPR while emergency crews rushed to the scene. Witnesses described desperate rescue efforts as medical teams fought to revive her. Sadly, despite every attempt, she later died from her injuries. The incident deeply affected both staff and visitors because it occurred in an area specifically designed for young children. It also reminded parents that even shallow water can become life-threatening when a child experiences distress unnoticed for only a short period.
Action Park Wave Pool. During the 80s, Action Park in New Jersey earned a reputation as one of the most dangerous amusement parks ever built. Its massive wave pool became so chaotic that visitors nicknamed it the Grave Pool. In 1982, 19-year-old George Larson entered the attraction to swim among hundreds of other guests. The powerful artificial waves,
Overcrowding and limited visibility quickly created dangerous conditions. Larson struggled to stay above the surface and eventually drowned before rescuers could reach him. His death was one of several fatalities linked to Action Park's attractions over the years. Former employees later described performing dozens of rescues in the same pool almost every day during dizzy periods. The tragedy became a symbol of poor safety standards and remains one of the most infamous water park deaths in history.